INT Congressional Hearing Room, Day. A packed hearing room buzzes with anticipation. Cameras flash. Social media journalists type frantically on phones. The room is divided between government officials in formal attire and entertainment, industry executives looking uncomfortable. At the center, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, 40s, commanding presence, stylish yet professional, radiating intelligence. Several empty seats await witnesses. Behind them, a large digital screen. Media outlets have set up for live broadcasting. Chairperson. The Committee on Digital Ethics and Media Accountability will now come to order. Today's hearing addresses allegations of manipulated media content and its effect on public discourse. Congresswoman Crockett, you have the floor. Jasmine adjusts her microphone, her posture impeccable. Her eyes scan the room with measured intensity. Jasmine. Thank you, Chairperson. For years, we've watched as technology blurred the lines between reality and fiction. Today's hearing isn't about censorship, it's about transparency. When billions consume content believing it's authentic, but algorithms and corporate interests manipulate that content, that's not entertainment, that's deception. She taps her tablet and the screen behind her illuminates with social media statistics. Jasmine, ConTD. When 84% of Americans cannot reliably identify digitally altered content, we face a crisis of truth. This committee has uncovered evidence of systematic manipulation reaching the highest levels of the entertainment industry. Whispers ripple through the crowd. Several executives shift uncomfortably. Jasmine, ConTD. I'd like to call our first witness, Ms. Beyoncé Knowles-Carter. The room erupts. Cameras swivel toward the entrance where Beyoncé, 40s, regal and composed, enters with a small entourage. She wears an elegant cream-colored suit, her expression unreadable. The crowd falls silent as she takes her seat and is sworn in. Jasmine. Ms. Knowles-Carter, thank you for appearing today. Your cultural influence is unquestioned, but with great influence comes great accountability. Are you aware that your most recent visual album contains over 200 instances of deepfake technology? Beyoncé's expression remains controlled, but her eyes flash with something, perhaps surprise. Beyoncé, Congresswoman, I collaborate with hundreds of creative professionals. The visual effects in my work are artistic expressions, not deceptions. Jasmine. I understand artistic license, but my question is about disclosure. Your Renaissance Foundation received $85 million in public arts funding last year, yet the public wasn't informed that what they were seeing wasn't real. She plays a video clip on the screen, a stunning sequence from Beyoncé's latest visual album, showing her apparently singing in impossible locations simultaneously. Jasmine, ConTD. This sequence, marketed as one continuous take, actually contains 37 different AI integrations. No disclosure was made. Beyoncé confers briefly with her legal counsel. Beyoncé. Congresswoman, the techniques used are industry standard. No laws require such disclosures for artistic content. Jasmine. Perhaps not yet, but isn't it true that Monarch Entertainment, which you partially own, is applying these same technologies to news content? A visible reaction from Beyoncé. The executives exchange glances. Beyoncé. Monarch is a separate entity with its own governance structure. I'm not involved in day-to-day operations. Jasmine. I have here a memo dated March 12th. She displays a document on screen, an internal memo with Beyoncé's signature. Jasmine, ConTD. This outlines Project Echo, a Monarch initiative, to deploy engagement enhancement across affiliated news platforms. The same technology that makes your music videos dazzling is being used to subtly alter news footage, without disclosure. The room stirs. Social media indicators on a secondary screen show Crockett expose trending. Beyoncé. That document lacks context. Project Echo was a proposal that was ultimately rejected. Jasmine. Was it? Because we have testimony from former Monarch employees suggesting otherwise. She nods and Alex Rivera, 30s, nervous but determined, enters and takes a seat at the witness table. Jasmine. Conted. Mr. Rivera was a senior developer at Monarch until 3 months ago. Mr. Rivera, please tell us about your work on Project Echo. Alex adjusts his microphone, visibly nervous but resolved. Alex. I led the technical team for Echo. We developed algorithms that could make subtle, nearly undetectable enhancements to video content. Not just artistic changes, but alterations to news footage. Changing facial expressions to appear more emotional, enhancing crowd sizes, even modifying the wording of statements in ways that wouldn't trigger fact-checkers, but would change public perception. Jasmine. And was Ms. Knowles-Carter aware of this application? Alex. Yes. She personally approved the final testing phase last December. The room erupts. Beyoncé's attorney leans in to whisper urgently in her ear. Beyoncé's attorney. We object to this characterization and reserve the right to. Jasmine. Cutting in. Objections are noted, but this isn't a courtroom. Ms. Knowles-Carter, do you deny knowledge of Project Echo's news applications? Tense silence. Beyoncé's composure cracks slightly. Beyoncé. I was briefed on various Monarch initiatives. The details of technical implementation were not my focus. Jasmine. Then perhaps this will refresh your memory. She plays an audio recording. Beyoncé's voice clearly discusses applying the visual corrections to the Dallas footage and ensuring the emotional impact is enhanced. The room goes silent. Beyoncé's expression hardens. Beyoncé. That recording has been taken completely out of context. Jasmine. Then please provide the context, Ms. Knowles-Carter. Beyoncé. After a pause. Was discussing a music video shot in Dallas. Nothing more. Jasmine. Then why does the timestamp indicate this conversation occurred 3 days after the Dallas protest coverage that Monarch news platforms carried? Coverage that, according to our technical analysis, contained 27 instances of manipulated crowd reactions. The social media feed shows Beyoncé exposed starting to trend. Beyoncé. Congresswoman, I believe I'm being set up here. This feels like a coordinated attack on my character. Jasmine. This isn't personal, Ms. Knowles-Carter. This is about the public's right to know when what they're seeing isn't real. When news becomes entertainment and entertainment masquerades as truth, democracy itself is threatened. She turns to address the committee and cameras directly. Jasmine. Conted. Today, I'm introducing the Digital Integrity in Media Act, requiring clear disclosure of all AI-enhanced or manipulated content across all platforms, no matter how powerful the creator. Thunderous reaction in the room. Truth in Media starts trending alongside the others. Fade to congressional hallway later that day. Jasmine walks briskly, flanked by staffers. Media shout questions. She appears focused, resolute. Reporter 1. Congresswoman, how? Do you respond to accusations that you're targeting black female achievement? Jasmine, stopping direct. As a black woman myself, I celebrate authentic achievement. What I don't celebrate is deception, regardless of who perpetrates it. Truth has no color. She continues walking. Her chief of staff, Marcus, 30s, falls in beside her. Marcus, quietly. The backlash is starting. Monarch's parent company lost 8% in the market already. They're mobilizing their influencer network. Crockett witch hunt is picking up steam. Jasmine. Expected, but we have the receipts. Keep our response focused on the facts, not the personalities. Her phone buzzes, she glances at it, frowns. Marcus. What is it? Jasmine. Senator Reynolds just pulled his co-sponsorship of the bill, says he needs to review additional information. Marcus Monarch. Made significant donations to his foundation last year. Jasmine, resigned but determined, and so it begins. Cut to Jasmine's office, evening. Jasmine sits alone, reviewing documents. The TV plays silently in the background, showing pundits debating the day's hearing. Her phone rings. Jasmine Crockett, intercut with the darkened office, night. A woman, Diana Patel, 50s, sits in shadow, elegant and authoritative. Diana Congresswoman. Diana Patel, Monarch Entertainment General Counsel. Jasmine Ms. Patel. I was wondering when I'd hear from you. Diana, you've created quite the spectacle today. Impressive theater. Jasmine, not theater. Oversight. There's a difference. Diana, cold amusement. Is there? Because from where I'm sitting, you've constructed a narrative just as manipulated as what you're accusing us of. Jasmine. I presented evidence, facts. Diana, facts without context. Like mentioning Project Echo without acknowledging it was an internal research initiative that never went live. Or presenting a private audio conversation about a music video as if it were about news manipulation. Jasmine sits up straighter, her guard rising. Jasmine. If there's exculpatory evidence, Ms. Patel, I welcome you to present it to the committee. Diana. Oh, we will. But first I thought you'd want to know something. About Marcus Chen. Jasmine's expression tightens. Jasmine, my chief of staff? What about him? Diana. Did you know he interviewed for a position at Monarch 6 months ago? Senior Public Affairs Director. We have very interesting recordings of those conversations. Jasmine's face betrays nothing, but her knuckles whiten as she grips the phone. Jasmine, if you're implying... Diana. I'm not implying anything, just sharing a relevant fact. Context matters, doesn't it, Congresswoman? A tense silence. Diana. Continue. We're prepared to release our full internal review of Project Echo tomorrow, along with all communications, including those with your office. Jasmine. After a pause. Transparency serves everyone, Ms. Patel. I look forward to reviewing it. Diana. Transparency. Yes. Speaking of which, the Digital Integrity Act you're proposing. Have you considered how it might affect your own campaign ads? The ones where your team enhanced crowd sizes at your rallies last year? Jasmine freezes. Diana. Can't. Sleep well, Congresswoman. Diana hangs up. Jasmine sits motionless, processing. Then picks up her phone again. Jasmine. Marcus? My office. Now. Cut to Jasmine's office, 20 minutes later. Marcus sits across from Jasmine, looking uncomfortable. Jasmine. Did you interview with Monarch? Marcus hesitating. Yes. Before the midterms, it was exploratory. I never... Jasmine. Cutting him off. And you didn't think to mention this before I launched an investigation into them? Marcus. I didn't think it was relevant. I chose to work for you instead. Jasmine. Coldly. Everything is relevant in this town, Marcus. You know that. She stands pacing. Jasmine. Can't D. What did you tell them about our operation? Marcus. Nothing inappropriate, just standard interview talk. My experience, my vision for... Jasmine. They recorded it, and now they're threatening to use it. Marcus pales. Marcus, I never said anything that could... Jasmine. They're also claiming we enhanced crowd sizes in campaign materials. Is there any truth to that? Marcus hesitates just a fraction too long. Jasmine, taunted, eyes flashing. Marcus. The media team might have done some standard touch-ups. Everyone does it, Congresswoman. It's just campaign marketing. Jasmine, furious. Everyone does it is exactly the excuse we're fighting against. And you let me walk into this without warning me? Marcus, I didn't think. Jasmine, that's obvious. She takes a deep breath, forcing herself to calm down. Jasmine, taunted. I need to know everything, now. Every skeleton, every shortcut, every standard touch-up. Before they do. Cut to Aunt Jasmine's apartment. Late night. Jasmine sits surrounded by documents, laptop open. The TV plays news coverage in the background. Her phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. Text. Not everyone at Monarch agrees with the pushback. Check your secure email. A friend. Jasmine hesitates, then opens her encrypted email app. A new message contains a video file. She clicks play. On screen, Beyoncé in what appears to be a Monarch boardroom. Beyoncé, on video. The congressman is asking questions. We need to get ahead of this. The echo protocols need to be applied to all our news platforms before the hearings. Subtle enhancements only. Nothing that would fail a surface-level fact-check. Board member on video. There are legal considerations. Beyoncé, on video. Cutting in, there are market considerations. Perception is reality. If the public thinks we're manipulating content, our stock drops. If we actually manipulate content but they don't know it, we're protected. That's the reality we operate in. The video ends. Jasmine sits back, stunned, but also grimly vindicated. Cut to congressional hearing. Room next day. The room is even more packed than before. The atmosphere is electric. Jasmine sits composed while Beyoncé and her team take their places. Chairperson. Before we continue yesterday's testimony, counsel for Ms. Knowles-Carter has requested time to make a statement. Beyoncé's attorney stands. Beyoncé's attorney. Thank you, Chairperson. My client wishes to address certain mischaracterizations from yesterday's hearing. Monarch Entertainment has prepared a comprehensive rebuttal, including full context for the Project Echo initiative, which was an academic research project that never went live. Jasmine listens impassively. Beyoncé's attorney commented. Furthermore, we have evidence suggesting bias in this investigation. We have recordings indicating that Congresswoman Crockett's chief of staff previously sought employment with Monarch and expressed views contradicting the Congresswoman's public positions. Murmurs through the room. Jasmine doesn't flinch. Chairperson. Congresswoman Crockett, would you like to respond before we proceed? Jasmine. Measured, confident. I would. Thank you. She stands, commanding the room with her presence. Jasmine, conteed. Yesterday I presented evidence of media manipulation by Monarch Entertainment. Today we're witnessing that manipulation in action, an attempt to shift focus from the substance of our investigation to peripheral matters. She taps her tablet, and the screen behind her comes to life. Jasmine, conteed. Before I address the allegations against my office, I'd like to present new evidence received anonymously last night. She plays the boardroom video. The room falls silent as Beyoncé's words fill the chamber. Beyoncé's face remains impassive, but her eyes betray shock. When the video ends, chaos erupts. The chairperson bangs the gavel repeatedly. Chairperson. Order. We will have order. When the room quiets. Jasmine. Verification experts have confirmed this video's authenticity. It directly contradicts the claim that Project Echo was merely academic research. As for the allegations regarding my chief of staff, she pauses, looking directly at Beyoncé. Jasmine, Con TD. Marcus Chen did indeed interview with Monarch before joining my team. And yes, our campaign, like most, used standard visual enhancements in some materials. The difference? I'm acknowledging it openly. And that's precisely the point of the Digital Integrity Act, not to ban enhancement technology, but to require transparency about its use. She turns, addressing the entire room now. Jasmine, Conted. This isn't about Beyoncé Knowles Carter. Personally, she's simply the most visible face of a systemic problem. When we can no longer trust what we see, we lose our shared reality. Democracy requires shared facts. That's what this fight is about. The social media feed shows integrity matters trending at #1. Cut to montage. News anchors debate the hearing. Protesters gather outside Monarch headquarters with signs demanding truth in media. Marcus clears out his desk while Jasmine watches, expression torn between disappointment and compassion. Social media explodes with competing hashtags. Stand with Beyoncé versus Darn Truth Matters. Jasmine gives interviews, always focused on policy, not personality. Stock tickers show Monarch shares plummeting. End montage. Int. Senate chamber, 3 weeks later. Jasmine sits in the gallery as senators vote on the Digital Integrity and Media Act. The electronic board tallies votes as they come in. Marcus. Sitting beside her. I never thought we'd get this far after what happened. Jasmine. Not looking at him. People make mistakes, Marcus. What matters is accountability. I held you accountable. You resigned. Then you helped us rebuild. Marcus. Still, you could have thrown me under the bus completely. Jasmine. That would have been easier, but not right. The board shows the final vote. 51-49 in favor. The gallery erupts. Jasmine closes her eyes briefly, allowing herself a moment of victory. Cut to Wintaker television studio, 1 month later. Jasmine sits for an interview. The host, Leela Washington, 40s, sharp and respected, leans forward. Leela Congresswoman Crockett, the Digital Integrity Act has been law for 2 weeks now. Already we're seeing enhanced content labels on everything from Instagram posts to news broadcasts. Critics say it's overkill. Jasmine. The transition period is always uncomfortable, but the data is encouraging. Public trust in media has increased 7% since implementation. That's remarkable in such a short time. Leela. And your relationship with Beyoncé Knowles Carter? She's become one of the most vocal advocates for the law, despite initially opposing it. Jasmine. Slight smile. Sometimes the strongest advocates are those who've seen both sides of an issue. Ms. Knowles Carter deserves tremendous credit for evolving her position. Leela. She's publicly thanked you for forcing a necessary reckoning. Jasmine. Truth is uncomfortable but ultimately liberating. That's been my experience. Leela, final question. There are rumors you're considering a Senate run. Any comment? Jasmine smiles enigmatically. Jasmine. I'm focused on implementation of the Digital Integrity Act. The future will take care of itself. Though I will say this, truth and transparency never go out of style. Leela, smiling. Sounds like a campaign slogan to me. Jasmine, with charming deflection. Just sounds like common sense to me. Fade out. Int. Beyoncé's studio, night, epilogue. Beyoncé sits alone, reviewing footage on a large screen. The door opens, and Jasmine enters. They regard each other with a complex mixture of wariness and respect. Beyoncé. Congresswoman. Thank you for coming. Jasmine. Your message intrigued me. Beyoncé. Gesturing to the screen, my new project. The first created entirely under digital integrity guidelines. I wanted you to see it before anyone else. Jasmine studies the screen, impressed despite herself. Jasmine. It's beautiful. And the transparency doesn't diminish the art. Beyoncé nodding with surprising vulnerability. That was my fear. That authenticity would limit creativity. I was wrong. She turns to face Jasmine directly. Beyoncé, conted. You could have destroyed me, used me as a scapegoat. You didn't. Jasmine. That was never the goal. Systems change requires understanding, not vengeance. Beyoncé. With newfound respect, I'm launching a foundation for digital literacy, teaching people to navigate this new landscape. I'd like your input. Jasmine considers this, then nods slowly. Jasmine. I'd be honored, though I suspect some will call it a strange partnership. Beyoncé, with a hint of her legendary confidence. The unexpected partnerships change the world, Congresswoman. The expected ones just maintain it. They share a moment of genuine connection. Two powerful women who found common ground through conflict. Jasmine. To the unexpected, then. They don't shake hands, but something more meaningful passes between them, mutual respect born of confrontation and resolution.